Do not limit the unlimited. Murdo MacDonald-Bayne. Divine thought is the uprising of the Christ in you. Then do not limit this marvelous creative power of love and wisdom by your own limited mental process of reasoning, and thus close the avenue for the unlimited. You cannot reason on that which is beyond your reason, but you can expand your capacity to receive that which is beyond your reason by clearing your mind of limitation. The Father does the work when you clear the way. You will readily see that your beliefs have become the hindrances to the unfoldment of the unlimited. As the mind of a little child is free, so must your mind be free, thus you enter the kingdom of heaven. Only with the mind free from the limitation of fixed ideas and beliefs of others can you receive the unlimited, for it is the Father that is working in you. Know ye not I am in the Father, and the Father is in me? It is the Father who ever remaineth in me is performing his own deeds. There is so much of the Christ power imprisoned within your minds, unable to express itself because of your rigid beliefs. Your livingness is your personal contact with God, and this personal contact with God must be your faith and not upon anything outside yourself. And whatever you ask in my name, that will be done unto you. If you look into a mind that is rigid in its belief, you will see how bound it is. This is truly the ignorance that is hindering the manifestation of the Christ in the world, for the Christ is the Spirit of God manifesting in the flesh and is beyond beliefs and limitation. If your mind is cluttered up with these things, you cannot release the glorious Christ power that is in you. One of your great hindrances is the delusion that times and places for prayer ought to be different from other times and places. Your prayer should be the sense of the presence of God, and this should be continuous at all times. It is not your duty to please men in your common business, but at all times, as far as you are capable of, to express the love and wisdom of God. In this way your work will not in any way be limited, but will expand into the unlimited nature of the presence that guides it. Therefore you need not worry about the outcome of your labor, for your Heavenly Father rewards generously all those who love Him. Neither need you worry about the outcome of tomorrow, for tomorrow is already taken care of by the love of today. For within you will feel that calm, steadfast effect of the power of the Christ of God, the channel for the unlimited expression of the Father Himself. This is the light that lighteth everyone who comes into the world. You will see that the greatest hindrance to the expression of the unlimited is holding to old fixed ideas which cause perpetual errors. The desire for the security of the self, infringing on the rights of others, produces that fear bug that hides deep in the recesses of the soul and eventually produces wrong action and thought, paralyzing the self, and preventing the all-giving Father from manifesting in and through you. This attitude of mind separates you from your brothers and sisters and limits your achievements. It makes the health break down and sends many into a state of depression which leads to a nervous breakdown. The remedy lies in the true understanding of the Christ that is ever working in you to bring the divine plan into operation. This alone will bring true security for all. The Christ is undisturbed, fearless, and intelligent, as transmitter of this wondrous thing that gives its blessing wherever it is active, not only to the giver but also to the receiver. This state of consciousness is not one of dreaming, it must be the complete awakening of the Christ power in you that gives you personal contact with the Father, the giver of all things. The practice of this enables you to be proficient in the art of correct thinking, living and acting. You become really alive. The one thing that must be realized is that the one life that exists in all as the consciousness of being is above law. Therefore the law is for the Lord and not the Lord for the law. Life God created law, not law created God life. One is existing life consciousness and the other is the way and means in which the life consciousness manifests itself. If you identify yourself with the law, then you are not free, but if you are aware of your oneness with the Father, then the law is your servant and you are no longer its slave. But if the reverse is your belief, then you are the slave and the law is your master. The law of manifestation is definite, and is the principle of action of the divine. Jesus says, unless you forgive your brother, your Father will not forgive you. In other words, unless your mind is free from antagonism, hatreds, and all those things that bind and limit it, it cannot be a vehicle for the true expression of the Father. Therefore the error is in yourself and not in your brother. And it is you who suffer because you prevent love and wisdom from manifesting in your life. Therefore if you are bound by your thoughts, the law binds you also, but when you are free, you are above law. The Christ of God is not subject unto law, but law is subject unto the Christ who is above law. Then to be above law you must open yourselves to the expression of the unlimited by removing the errors that bind you in law. There are many who fear their own thoughts, they are afraid to think of the past because it disturbs them. If these are not dealt with fearlessly, they only prevent the expression of the real now. You must face everything that happens in your lives. Face it boldly, knowing that the Christ overcomes all things. All power is given unto him in heaven and on earth. The Christ is your reality, therefore do not hide him behind your fears, but let him dissolve them away, for he is capable of doing all this and much more. Freedom does not come by dreaming or taking the Christ into the prison you have created for yourself. Nor does freedom come through introspection. Freedom comes by discerning your own thoughts and actions, then you will know how you are acting. When you are aware of your own actions, the Christ in you will lead you aright and dissolve all errors that make you sad, depressed, or miserable. The Christ is the joy of living, then let the Christ abide in your heart. You will be conscious of ever-fresh unfoldment. You will see, hear, and know the creative power of the Spirit of God personified as the Christ in yourself. Your deep earnestness opens the door to the answer to your prayers. This is real prayer, which has all the attractive power. For the place of creation is within you. No one has ever seen God, yet you are in his bosom. He has declared you by his living in you, for he alone lives. For however hears my word, he is my Father also. Call no man your father on earth, for one is your Father who is in heaven. Therefore you are the seed of your Father in heaven, which must bring forth the same fruit. As the great truth of the one and only one is unfolded in the mind of man, so will mankind discard the divisions that bind and limit him. There will be one truth, one flock, one shepherd, for all will listen to his voice. Then the darkness that surrounds you will no longer oppose you, but will be the means of your growth. Fear not, for I am with thee always, even unto the end of the world. Benediction. O Divine One, thy divine form with the feet of eternity walked upon the earth. Thou planted thy lasting footprints upon the sands of time. I was one of thy lost sheep who wandered in the desert of illusion and shadows. But when I listened to thy voice in thy everlasting shepherd, this voice was so sweet and clear I could not but follow it, and now I know I am one with thee, O Divine One. Peace be with you. Yours sincerely, 𝗦 MacDonald-Bayne.